Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Out Books, and today with my top 5 books that I've read this fall. It's almost the end of November, so it's almost officially the end of fall. I know winter doesn't technically start until like halfway through December, but how I've been doing these videos, I've been doing them each season and explaining my top 5 books that I've read in the past 3 months. And now looking back at my list, I actually have not read that many great romances. Like straight up contemporary romance have been really lacking for me. I had a definite top 3, and then the ones that I was going to say, well, I really like them, but I wouldn't say they're my favorites, were going to be on my honorable mention that I wrote down, but then I didn't have any more to add to my top 3. So I pushed them up to be in my top 5, but like there's nothing that could really blew me away romance-wise other than 3 books, and YA made it into this list, which typically doesn't happen for me, but you guys probably know what books these are if you've been watching my channel. I've just obsessed about the same books over and over again as I read them, but I'll go ahead and get to some honorable mentions and then my top 5. Alright, so I have 2 honorable mentions, and the first one is The Chase by Elle Kennedy. So I am obsessed with this series, the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and this is her spin-off, and it wasn't as amazing as I wanted it to be. Now, it's still really good. It's about summer, and she has to move in with a bunch of hockey players because she got kicked out of the sorority house she wanted to live in because she got kicked out of the university she was going to, so she has to go to Briar now, and she ends up falling for Fitz, who's a hockey player but also a game graphic designer, and it was really good, really cute, but I wasn't just like blown away by it like I wanted to, so it's not in my top 5, but still a really awesome read. Next honorable mention is Folsom by Taryn Fisher and Willow Astor. I've talked about this a lot as well. It's like a gender-swapped Handmaid's Tale. It's a society where men aren't fertile anymore, and so there's like the 10 men who can have children now, and they're like shipped off all around the world to have children. So Folsom, my main character, has fathered over 200 children, and like 2 of them are boys, and so the male population is dwindling very fast. He falls in love with someone, which is a big no-no because it's his job to repopulate the earth, and should they be doing that to men? And it's a really interesting read, a really good romance, but really good mystery as well, because some bad things with the government are happening, so I recommend this. So the number 5 on this list is Rewrite the Stars by Charlie Rose. This one is Charlie Rose's new release, and it is about a girl who basically runs away with the circus, and it's awesome. She ends up falling in with the guys who like do the motorcycle tricks, and it spans a couple years. So it starts out when she's in high school, and then fast forward a year, and then fast forward another year, I think, when she is just graduating from high school and her family life has like gone down the toilet, so she runs away with a circus. And it's a romance with one of those guys, but the problem is that with the guys in the circus, in this like troupe of motorcycle people, danger men, whatever, is that they are destined to die before they're 25. So they have sworn off women and love. I mean, like, not women, but like sworn off love and relationships. So really intriguing read. I really enjoyed it. Number 4 on this list is Fight or Flight by Samantha Young. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people hate this book and DNF it. For me, it was just such a fun romance. I loved it. I was not annoyed by the characters. I thought their banter was hilarious. I loved the main Scott in this. It's about a girl and a guy who meet at an airport, and he took their first class flight, and she just wants to get home, and then they end up being laid over together and spend the night together and think they'll never see each other again. They infuriate each other, and then he ends up staying in Boston where she works and lives, and they decide to keep up their friends with benefits relationship. Obviously, it's friends with benefits turned kind of more, but they're freaking out about it. I loved it. It was just such a fun, fluffy romance, so if that's what you want, go for Fight or Flight. Next, for number 3, I put 2 books together, and that is Lover Awakened and Lover Revealed by J.R. Ward. This is Zetas and Butch's stories. These are amazing. I couldn't pick between the 2. I still don't know whose I like better. These are vampire romances. Zetas has a really troubled past. Butch is a human falling for a vampire, so they are amazing. I love them both equally for different reasons, and if you haven't started the series, you should. This is books 3 and 4, I believe, and I'm gonna read book 5 this month. I'm trying to do a book a month, so I'm working my way through the series. Number 2 on this list is Unravel Me by Tahira Mafi. This is book 2 in the series. I have read all 4 books in the series now, but this one took the cake. This is all about Juliet and Warner's angst, and Juliet discovering her powers, and everyone discovering the truth about the government and everybody's in society, and this one, in my opinion, was the best of the series. I loved it, especially for the romance and angst. It was amazing. Number 1 on this list was a recent read, and I think it's number 1 because I'm so like on that high from reading it because it was just so good, and that is Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This one is like kind of fantasy right now. I feel like the next ones are going to be more fantasy, but it's about a girl who is betrothed and she doesn't want to get married, so she runs away with her servant, and the prince and an assassin are chasing after her, and she doesn't know which one's which. Well, we don't know which one's which. She doesn't even know who they are. She just thinks they're random boys, and she's falling for one of them but kind of likes both of them. And they both kind of like her. So it's a love triangle. You don't know who's going to kill her. You don't know what's going to happen. It really picks up the last 100 pages. Like, crazy things happen. And it's insane. And you're obsessed with the romance. And I'm just obsessed. And I'm going to read book 2 this month. And probably finish book 3 next month. So I'm obsessed now. And I'm in love. And I just really want to read all the YA fantasy with romance. So yeah. I love this book. And those are the top 5 books that I've read this fall. Let me know down below if you've read these and what your thoughts were of them and what your favorite read of the last 3 months was. I would love to hear. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.